YouTube. I like my shirt. I made that shit. It should have said error like 308 or some shit. That would have been better. Error 357. Yeah, 300. For that blackout build I just made. What? Yeah, man, listen, man. Shit crazy. This gun hating shit is crazy, bro. It's hard to understand why people think danger means like the next step is for you to give up whatever you got that can protect you. That's 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 like so obvious. It's like an obvious level of bullshit involved in a sentiment like that that I'm surprised it gets past anybody. Danger makes me feel like, oh, I better make sure that I can, be proficient in protecting myself. That's a reaction from danger. Like, how's that not a natural reaction to the idea of you being in danger? You know, it's just ironic to me that they're trying to scare us with all this, all these acts of public, these events, these public events. You know what I'm talking about? Whenever that type of shit happen or whatever, they want you to feel the fear. Uh, they can be genuine. I don't even really believe that they genuine. To be honest with you, we can get into that. I don't think that there's some disingenuous vibes or forces at play in these things, and I don't know where to place that directly. Well, I do think I know where to place it directly, but there's some fugazi business going on with these shootings, man. There's no way that it's like 100% genuine, natural, organic. This is what's happening, and even if that's what the case was, they'd never let a good crisis go to waste. Hillary, so and so, whatever last name start with a C. You know who I'm talking about? The crazy, yeah, her, yeah, her. Yeah, she said, they never let a good crisis go to waste. They gonna flex anything. So on either side of the aisle, whether you think that these are genuine organic events or there's some fugazi going on with it, no matter what side you stand on, what we all have to agree on is they definitely want us to recognize the danger and the fear in these events, and then and let that pain affect how we feel about what they got to say next. And then of course they move on to gun control and shit. But if they want you to feel that fear, why is it that they try to push everybody to this notion that the best way to feel more comfortable in public is if nobody's there who is compliant enough to give up their guns. None of y'all people can be there to be heroes since you already proven yourself to be obedient to the system by giving your gun up. It's just ironic that that's how that happens. That you can give your gun up, and then now you become uh, in a deeper level of danger than what you was when you had it. And that just sounds logical and obvious when you say it out loud. I don't even know how a gun hater can even shake what it is that I'm saying. But y'all some weirdos, man. If y'all think that you're gonna be safer if they tell guys like me that we can't have that shit we like. Like, why? I just don't get how you think that would make you safer, man. I mean, police coming up the block right now. Somebody need help. They should have been trying. Hopefully they was, in a position to try and help themselves. That seemed unnatural as hell to me to even depend on another man to think that that's my best chance of surviving what society, what American society and the whole world really is trying to admit is just it could just be there, just around the corner at any given time. You might find yourself involved in some sparks flying, and they want to put this on their mind like we should be worried about that. And then at the same time, they're trying to push everybody in the direction of giving up your guns being a good enough law-abiding citizen that you give up your guns is that somehow the criminal's going to take the same steps as the law-abiding citizens. In that moment, they will. Everybody's going to agree. Come on, man. Everybody's going to listen to that order to get them guns up. Nah, bro. Good, good people. People who are subdued enough and respectful enough to the idea of law enforcement to give their guns up could have been trusted by keeping them and then just not doing bad shit with it. That's fucking simple as fuck, man. God damn. Like to have to even beg people to like find these logical connections in their own mind, or at the very least allow someone to speak this and then let them digest and be like, yo, can you dig what I'm saying? Can you see how from all angles this gun hate is just wrong? Like it shouldn't be that hard to just have a logical conversation and convince people to at least stop and think about what it is that they asking for, man. I don't see how anybody thinks that they can ask for the same God that would abide by giving his shit up, actually give his shit up, and then not be able to protect himself or nobody. Man, y'all some weirdos, bro. That's a weird thing to watch people actually support that shit. It's like, man, you can't imagine what that's gonna be like. It's not gonna make the people who don't give a fuck like start giving a fuck. They're actually gonna feel empowered if they say if every criminal, every creep, anybody who out here in Iowa creeping on some kids, or anybody out here who creeping on women in general, uh, there's been a problem with the production of recordings that have a very immoral plot that involves kids. Uh, that's a problem. People producing that weird shit. Uh, it's been some of that that's been exposed that been going on around here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and that's just crazy. It really puts it on. It really puts the idea and the presence of that kind of shit right in your face when you have to when you got to be reminded, and you shouldn't have to be reminded of these things. You should just notice that this is the world you live in. But when you get that reminder that the world is like this, and as we speak, there's some kids suffering some shit I ain't never had to go through, and they gotta live this shit, bro. Crazy stuff. When you're a grown man and you are mindful of that, I don't know how you can numb yourself to not care enough to be like, damn, for real though. Damn, is there something I can do? Damn, like shouldn't I be thinking, saying, hoping that it wasn't always like that, or that we bring that down to a minimum, like that we do everything we can, all hands on deck for these kind of endeavors. Like it shouldn't really be too much to ask for, man, but it seems like it do be, man. It's crazy. I think about it makes me feel strange as fuck that shit like this go on, but then like people like go all out in financial support and giving up their time for like sports fanaticism and shit like that. Like we doing that in a world where this is going on with kids. This should be all hands on deck. And people recognize the heroism in people who do try to conquer these things when you see it in law enforcement and other government bodies that claim to be, and sometimes they got their hands in propelling this shit, but they claim to be out here trying to protect the kids with children and family services and all these other things. There's sting operations and all different type of stuff to kind of catch these guys, these people that get involved in harming kids in this way. And that's all dope and everything, cool, whatever. But I don't understand why a man should have to feel like it's not his concern, or he needs to stand on the sideline because he doesn't want to be a cop, but he still feels that same way, like you might imagine the honorable cop might be thinking and feeling when he has a lawful orders to get involved in stopping that kind of stuff. Because I feel like, yo, let me at him. Are you crazy? That's what's going on. I couldn't be face to face with one of these guys and have any ounce of like. People are mean to people all the time. Sometimes it's an unfair thing. Sometimes you are justified in being aggressive, mean, or disrespectful to somebody. I don't know who better I can be disrespectful to than the person that hurt kids. There should be no expectation from him or anybody else in society to expect that anybody will ever show him an ounce of respect or care about anything that he's got to say if this is who he is. But in the meantime, y'all act like that kind of perspective and take on something like this in the world is something for law enforcement to do, and for nobody else to really get involved some way somehow. And look at all these grown ass men out here not involved in law enforcement or nothing, that are either ignorant of the fact or are stifling the natural protective nature of a man inside themselves, that they don't do nothing. But then they go work their ass off their job, doing whatever it is they do to make their money, so that they can buy plane tickets to travel, expensive tickets to the games, hotel room, sports memorabilia, and all this other shit that they get into. That's a whole lot of time and life energy to what? Sports fanaticism? Boy, is you crazy? In the meantime, all this other shit is going on in the world, man. The world should look way different than what it is, bro. And the world is being controlled by these units of power that we call government. Then they all get together, like the World Economic Forum and all these other, the Trilateral Commission, Council on Foreign Relations, all these motherfuckers. They constantly getting together while we down here on the surface with this surface level thinking, like you're not mindful at all times that the world is being ruled by somebody, and that the world being ruled by somebody. But for damn near 300 years, or however old this country is, and however long it took for the United Nations to show up, look how much of that has been filled with war. But y'all said y'all was gonna put an end to that. That's what y'all tell the people, but I know better. I know all of this shit is rigged, from the sports to how the history go, what y'all tell us the history is, and where y'all taking the future. All that shit, y'all bugging, bro. If y'all think world domination is not gonna come with an ingenious plan to run this shit without you even noticing, you're crazy. Because the best thing they can possibly do is to subdue you without having to fight you. So step number one is to fool you, to see if that works. And sure enough, bread and circus, and y'all niggas don't even know that there's the business to be handled, work to be done. Y'all don't even know. Look at that. How they gonna have to fight y'all if they, and you know what? And then they hypnotize and recruit into their system of this social hypnosis that they got the whole planet on. They run that with y'all and recruit the best of y'all to be like, oh, you feel like a hero? Be a Marine, join the Navy, be a police officer. Oh, you big, strong, young, and fast and athletic? Play this football, throw this basketball through this fucking ring with a net on it. Go do all that shit. But imagine somebody who was really diligent and paying attention to the way the world works, realizing that 200 plus years of war from an empire like the U.S., getting involved in all the fuckery that we get involved in our short history, the advancement of the military industrial complex and the prison industrial complex, the fucking fiat money, all of this imperial shit, right? If you look at all of that, bro, if you can imagine 50% of the NFL, 50% of the NBA, right? And they all diligent in paying attention to that, realizing that life is more of a deep battle of good versus evil than what people did. Y'all think that shit is in the movies. It ain't the movies. This shit is happening to you. There's absolutely no way in hell 200 some years of non-stop war and conflict and all this death and blood on their hands with all these other things that I mentioned. If y'all don't think, and I put it like this, if you think that Jesus is a thing, a real thing, that the Bible is trying to tell you something real, anything at all, I can't think of nobody, no other unit of power that can manifest what y'all say the fall of planet Earth is, the coming of the second coming of Christ. Who can even be powerful enough to push the world off the cliff so that your story of Revelation and Armageddon and all this other shit fall into place? Who gonna do all that? That's government, bro. The government is the hand of the devil that y'all supposed to be looking out for. That's gonna push the. No, what else can do that? What else? Not me. I can't do that to the world, and whoever can do that to the world, you should very much not trust them. And then watch what they're doing just in case. You need to be on your guard. And when you look, I'm telling you, it's uncomfortable. Period. But you don't know, because step number one is to fool you, so you don't even know you in a fight. So they can fight your ass. You know how easy it is to fight somebody that don't know they in a fight? Boy, you win that fight. They don't want you to be strong and feel like me. That's for damn sure. They don't want you. They don't want 2 million 18 to 32-year-olds healthy as fuck. Could be a badass fucking linebacker. Could be a badass point guard, power forward. Could be a badass soccer player. Strong, athletic, endurance. Boy can run miles. Play a sport, bro. Don't you never ever gain no knowledge to feel like you got a task at hand on planet Earth to save it. Don't think that. They don't want you to use that to do that. So they got you fooled, and then they got you completely wrapped up, bro, from all angles, man. So you do. They want you to be incapable of seeing them, and then preoccupied, and then maybe if you do find a way to see what it is that they are doing, which is deep. How could you ever expect for something like world domination, or for this global community that we even build, and the people in the upper echelons of this stuff, yo, they think very highly of themselves. You see it in your own personal life, how people think very highly of themselves over, and a man to get egotistical off the smallest of come ups. And we've all seen this in our personal life, how people get uppity, bougie, trying to act like they all this and that over nice little advances in their financial stability and all types of other shit. People feel like they would. Are you telling me that Elon and all of these Gates, all of these other people in these upper echelons of world economics and stuff, when they doing what they do and they look around and all they see is what they provided humanity, and then they see how much humanity thrives and drives forward off of what they do. How they not gonna have no egos? Are you crazy? Their egos are through the roof, and that they feel like planet Earth can't even be what it is moving forward in the advancement of the human experience. Y'all, we not. If they the ones pushing all of that, they gonna feel like kings of the planet. I don't know why that would even sound strange to y'all if you think about it. You think there's no ego behind that? Mad ego behind that. You wouldn't believe. You wouldn't believe it. Let your crazy uncle win 20 bands on a scratch off. Boy, like the feel good ego that's gonna come by. Now, imagine if he was not 20 bands, let's say he was 20 billion, because he's provided something to humanity that has stamped an image, a staple in the progression of the human experience. Boy, do you know how heavy that is to be that? To be Elon, to be Henry Ford, to be any one of these presidents, how much of a staple you are in the story of planet Earth. Boy, the ego up there don't give no fuck about you, because you can't be them. The world can't even be the world. History can't even be history without them. They feel like, damn, if there's a God, they are it, or being blessed by it. How else could you pay respect to being that? To the human experience. Come on, man. Their egos is crazy. They thinking you is almost nothing. As soon as they feel like you in the way, or they need to adjust what you're doing because they know what's best, it's easy for them to think that they know what's best. Where you get all this science from? Where you get all this technology from? Can you build your cell phone if everybody behind this fucking cell phone took off to Mars or some shit? And we were all back to the Stone Age without the people who are legitimately responsible for those things that we need and thrive on and create our reality with right now. If none of those people were there, where will humanity go after that? How long would it take for us to get another Elon or another whoever the fuck you want to name? Come on, man. This is stuff that they think about and they go, man, we the shit. We it, boy. We are. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, as soon as you understand that and you respect that and you really understand what that would do to regular human beings who got these egos, it wouldn't sound that surprising to you that the money is fiat. That was a banker's flip. That whole sinking of that one ship, the Titanic. Come on, man, that was some fugazi shit. There's something spooky behind that. If you look at all these things and you go, what the fuck else could I possibly expect from people who believe that they are this to humanity and nobody else is them because they can either beat us into the dirt so that they got no competition, or they can sit back and go, you don't deserve it because you ain't got it. And that'll go into genocide of certain people, feeling like they are inferior, feeling like you're God's chosen people, and all that type of stuff. It goes into all of that, bro. You can see it reflected in religion, and they run that. And you mix religion with government and with the banking system, boy, you got three arms of slavery. You can't even escape, boy. You ain't know you're not free. They wrap you up in so much legalese and so much all of this other stuff, boy. You was just entangled. Silly shit right in your face. They'll ask you, what is your address? They ask you when they pull you over, it's got to be on your identification. What is your address? But possession is 9/10 of the law. That's not really your address. You just live there. You didn't name it. You can't take it with you when you leave. They did that. That's they shit. And that's how they tell you that they got the jurisdiction over you, because you are technically in they shit. That's not your address, but you claiming it. So then you take whatever trouble come with them having to place themselves on at your address. It's not your address, but that is they shit, boy. You can't even own a fucking house in America and feel like you own that house. You don't own that shit. You forever paying rent to the government, and they call it property taxes. And if anybody can threaten you over money about something that you thought was yours, you have to know that it's not yours. You don't know that? You should question that. You don't have to like it. It's not supposed to be like that. And if you don't know that, how you don't know that? Like, how you don't know that that feels funny? You don't know that feel funny? You forever paying rent, bro? But you can get around that. They got legal games. They'll play the legal game with you if you're smart enough. But then they hide that shit, and then they bully you into submission where they say, hey, the game is out here. Max and Rome in the law. Whoever can't be fooled, let them be fooled. They give you the game, and then they uh, derail your education around, things in their own fucking legal system, and all this bullshit they got going on. This shit in their own shit that will free you, or at least point them into a direction where it'd be a fair fight. These fucking unilateral contracts they put you in when you get the mortgages on your houses, that shit wrong. They don't tell you about any allodial title where you can actually free yourself from paying this forever fucking rent to them. Fuck that property tax bullshit. Is it yours or is it not? You can question them in that way to figure that shit out. But they hide all this bullshit, bro. And then they use this system where they know that they got to go to school for how long for them to master the system, this legalese and all this bullshit. They get all the schooling to do that, but the average man don't even know his own body. He don't know shit really, right? So what is you up against the system that it took them all this schooling to fucking figure out maps, all this long history and experience in the profession for them to really truly master what it is that they do? And to the average man, you can't even measure up. You wouldn't even know if he was playing you, or lying, or totally fucking all your shit up, because the gap in the education of what it is you dealing with is too big between the average man and a judge with 15, 20, 25 years on his belt. How you gonna match him? You don't even know if he fucking with you, and who gonna check him? Nobody, bro. Come on, man. That shit sound crazy as fuck. Yeah, the Rockefeller education create serves. Hell yeah, it do. Hell yeah, it do. Hell yeah, it do. It make motherfuckers hate reading. It make them feel like the system is too big for them to ever care about, or that they need to go with it or choose the lesser of two evils and all this other funny, dirty ass bullshit. The lesser of two evils. Like, people actually fall into that and feel like this is the best chance we got. We then stop calling us free. If you can call them the lesser of two evils, but you admitted to choosing evil, as if you got no choice, but you always got a choice. Revo the fuck out this shit, because I say no to everybody. For them to rule me, you gotta, yeah, my qualifications to be ruled by somebody, you gotta almost be God status. And I don't even know these motherfuckers. They got health problems, mental issues, stupid, dangerous kids. JB and his son and all that bullshit he got going on. Fuck out of here, boy. You and your son is some fucking scumbags. Y'all some dirtballs. Both of y'all fuck the fuck off. Is you crazy? I don't gotta like you. I'm supposed to like you. I gotta like you because of your title. I don't gotta like you, bro. And I ain't gonna like you. But this is what they do too. Left, right paradigm, all this other bullshit. Boy, I'm not choosing a lesser. I can choose to not like either one of y'all. I don't have to choose one of y'all that I like because if I fall into the left right paradigm and I choose a lesser of two evils, on top of that, by giving y'all a chance with this left right paradigm in the first fucking place, my vote, even if I'm reluctant to do it because I'm choosing the lesser of two evils, the vote when cast look just like somebody who loved the fuck out of that candidate because the vote is just the same vote. So now your vote don't reflect the fact that you fell into the paradigm and went, I choose the lesser of two evils type shit. What type of dumb shit is that? My vote look like the motherfucker that loved this dude. So why would I do, man? Get the fuck out. You can't make me do none of that shit, bro. I'm not doing none of that shit. I don't gotta like it or none of that shit, bro. I don't gotta not say it or none of that shit neither, bro. Fuck out of here, man. Y'all ass tweaking. Don't nobody gotta like none of y'all or none of the shit you do or ignore all that shit. You motherfuckers can't even pass your own background check. Y'all get a long history of trafficking narcotics and moving children and women away from where they were safe and comfortable and familiar, and then taking them to other fucking places to make their lives crazy. Sometimes they don't actually make it out alive, and when they do, they be psychologically fucked up, just like your PTSD with your military soldiers. But y'all praise this military industrial complex. You're actually promoted to be almost ritualistic family tradition that the kids and the grandkids and the great grandkids do what the great great grandfather did because he was in the military type shit. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all are crazy. I don't have to like that level of violence. You see all the bullshit they got, y'all, they got y'all falling for? All this crazy shit they got going on. This shit sounds dumb as fuck. And as soon as if you just explain it for exactly what it is that you're dealing with to the bare, honest, bottom line, objective truth of what it is you're talking about, you will see how much craziness and bullshit is going on that y'all be praising and saluting and wishing upon your kids when you want them to follow this stupid tradition and shit. That shit crazy. Then y'all got the nerve to say anything at all about rap music or urban culture. But it's like, nigga, if the military had a music genre that told its story, including all the conspiracy theories, all of the cheating that your wife be doing while you off dying in another country, or vice versa, and all this other shit, and all of the war crimes y'all be committing, if all of that shit was in music form, that shit would sound worse than rap. Y'all just acting like that's an avenue y'all can praise because y'all not putting the stories to a fucking beat so it can be compared to hip hop and rap music. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Y'all be tweaking, man. Y'all be using these divisive cultural things that keep us constantly divided, but y'all don't never tell Quentin Tarantino to stop using his imagination to manifest these extreme images of violence because that's going to manifest in his real life. But then y'all tell a young nigga if he speak on that death in his music, death gonna come to him because he gonna bring that shit to fruition. But y'all ain't never told Quentin Tarantino he gonna bring his bloody shit to fruition. What is y'all talking about, bro? Y'all just be saying different shit to different groups of people to make certain people feel a certain way. The fuck out of here, bro. Y'all can't keep be consistent about nothing. Everything is all weird, man. That's why you got to just look at a bigger picture so that you can see these inconsistencies. If you constantly tunnel vision, focus on certain things, and you don't never broaden your scope, you won't realize that, damn, y'all said this over here and then did this over here, bro. How y'all do that? How y'all do that right in front of everybody, bro? That shit crazy, man. Y'all tweaking. But I'm gonna end this live, man. Listen, this is only my second. I went this second time I went today. Went live on YouTube, and I ain't went live before this, so I'm gonna start doing this a little bit more, or whatever, and just ramble and talk my shit. But real talk, man, the world is crazy. Everybody should be looking, and all you got to do is just be looking around, care about the information that you're trying to figure out. Don't take no for an answer when you need shit answered. Be diligent in your research and what you think and feel, trying to connect these motherfucking dots where they need to be connected. And just don't be nobody's fool. And I shouldn't have to ask you to live your life to be nobody's fool. You should already, you're not on that. You're a grown ass man. You're not on that. You don't want to be nobody's fool, right? Okay, well then don't let them fool you. Be diligent and looking to see if somebody trying to run the okey doke on you. Don't let them fucking play you or fool you about nothing. They start talking this gun hate like this, like it's super dangerous out here, and you should fear that. And then the next thing they say is, give up the shit that you would protect yourself from the fear that we just told you that you probably need to harness for the danger that's out here in the world. Man, get the fuck what? Get the fuck out of here, y'all bugging. As soon as I hear that type of shit, I instantly lose all trust. This one of the one hitter quickers. You can love the government and hear that, and that should make you go, No, you sound strange, bro. When I heard that shit, I went and got a gun, and you said the complete opposite, and then start talking shit to me like I was the one who ran into the school, but that wasn't me. This was my reaction to the school thing because I don't want to be. Come on, man. And then I get treated the same way after he get self. And he went through the fucking self checkout or whatever. Well, no, no, somebody smoked him. Somebody smoked him. Okay, well, yeah, somebody laid him down, so they say. But this that bullshit though, bro. This that bullshit though. Like I'm gonna have to start being better at like reading through the comments because I be it'd be better off if I talk to y'all probably. That way, if y'all say something interesting, say I'm new to to this live shit like that. I mean, I was doing live on Facebook when I had a Facebook for a while, but they killed my Facebook. They banned my IP address and all that. They hated me over there. Um, but even then, man, I was doing my live streams, doing my open carry demonstrations, walking my shit on Facebook. So I definitely wasn't looking at the screen enough to be like replying back to messages and shit. But I should do that more because I want more of a conversation than me just rambling and talking my shit. I be jumping subject to subject, connecting big ass dots with long, you know. But I mean, but I be trying to think deep and I be trying to be man, because it's all connected, man, because it's all being run like for in the same direction by the same push, man. It's all the same. It looked like you got a whole bunch of shit going on in the world, but it's really one story of planet Earth. It's still one story about planet Earth, bro. And y'all think that everything is separate, different, this lane, that lane, invisible to this over there because there's this is not related. But man, all this shit connected, bro. There's nothing that's not really connected. Every day is connected to the one before it and the one after it, with no clear cut separation. There's a fluid, smooth fucking push through this linear experience of consciousness that we're going through. And planet Earth is fucking wild, and it should be wild enough. You should care enough to look around, want to know what's going on, demand the answers, and refuse to be somebody's fool. That's simple as fucking. When you do that, you're gonna look around and go, man, I don't like none of you motherfuckers. I don't like none of y'all up here doing all this shit from the ivory tower. I don't like y'all. Y'all sound like the stories y'all was telling us about 2,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago. I always wonder how they got these people to be these like slave classes and stuff in some of these stories you hear about some of these ancient cultures. And I'm like, how y'all get them to do that, bro? Y'all must have been brutal. When nobody trying to fight y'all back, we'd have been fighting. And I was feeling like this when I was kind of blinded to the fact that I was in the middle of that shit. And then after a while, I started looking around. And I go, oh damn, what they legalized weed over in Colorado? Oh okay. Well, how is it they next door neighbors still taking kids out of people's houses and declaring the parents in some level of violation and some kind of neglect or abuse of their children because they involve themselves with weed. And that's right next door. But Colorado said we're not treating people like that about the weed. Okay, what? Huh? What? The conflict and the fact that it's still like that between some states, and these states that think they're doing it right won't go to war with these other states. Like I thought they were supposed to. Enemies foreign and domestic. That means hero domestic as well. Domestic hero is supposed to do this, you know, especially forces that are already well trained, armed, and respected as law enforcement. I think law enforcement from these states who doing these rights about marijuana and the gun laws. You think you're doing it right? How come you're not forcefully going to these other states that ain't doing it right and make them do it right? So that we all get on the same plane. If you honestly believe that what you're doing is in tune with natural rights in the Constitution, why is you letting these other states literally attack, throw people in jail, fine them, and do all other types of shit? All some shit that you just gave the green light to it, literally with the weed, and now y'all just being like, nah, we good over here with the weed. Ain't nobody bugging about no weed over here in Colorado shit legal as fuck. If that's what the case is, then how y'all looking back being like, so and so just had a standoff about, you know, a warrant and illegal guns he got in his house, and he got weed in, he got drug charges on probation, yada yada. And it's like, man, all this over some weed, and y'all mad that this nigga don't want to go to jail now? Like he trying to fight his way out of jail. He don't want to go to jail over the weed. Yo, the neighboring state said they'd never do that to you about the weed no more. They gave up. The fuck? And the state that this man might be arrested in today might later on down the line get like Colorado, and then what they gonna do? Look back and go, I'm sorry, sorry for that. Here's a complimentary gram and a cigarello. Sorry, nigga. Fuck out of here, boy. Y'all crazy as hell. Y'all watching them be dead wrong for all this time about weed, and now they changing they tune on the whole fucking thing. And y'all just happy that the weed is free. But I think it make more sense to hold grudges to be like, excuse me, what the fuck y'all gonna do about how long y'all was wrong for and what y'all did to people while y'all was in the state of wrong? Cause y'all acting like y'all right now, cause y'all taxing it. Look at you, look at you. So was y'all? That mean y'all was wrong before, right? So what y'all gonna do about that, bro? Expunging records ain't enough. What about the kids and the jail time? Man, boy, talking about some reparation type class action lawsuit. Man, the legalizing weed in these states should have bankrupt the whole state. It should have fucked the whole state up. You supposed to crash their ass for admitting that kind of wrong after slamming people with weed charges shit for 50 years or longer. The fuck out of here. Y'all crazy. But see, there I go, running off at the mouth. I'm out of here. I'm gonna end this live. I love y'all. Tune in, all that. I'm gonna get back out here with these guns, open carry demonstration probably tomorrow. I'm gonna go live on YouTube because I like that shit. I like just recording that shit and having that shit pop up. I was trying to edit my videos. I'm gonna go back to some edited videos because I do like that shit, my little intro and shit. Check out the rest of my motherfucking videos on my YouTube and share my shit and all that. Way more people should know who the fuck I am because I'm kicking that real shit. It's a lot of gun lovers out there who ain't kicking the shit like me. They still trying to get in tune with peaceful demonstrations and shit like that. Like that's gonna ever solve anything. Some of these motherfuckers are still talking like the law is the law though. They trying to clean their image up and not look a certain way. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I don't fuck with the law. I think they fucking wrong, and me liking guns don't mean that I can't say that they fucking wrong. I'm still off on that shit, and that's what it's gonna be. I don't trust or like none of that shit. All these cops is felons. You watching them with this glaring contradiction with the doing gun rights the way they doing over here in Iowa, the constitutional carry, but a state like Illinois, right next door, is doing this bullshit. In the state of Iowa, the Iowa State Police not going over there to check them. Y'all supposed to suit up and go over there and check them with government force. I shouldn't have to fucking say or do any damn thing. Go over there and make them change the shit because you over here rocking this constitutional carry, loud and proud, like this is how you do it. That means that you think Illinois is in a grave state of contradiction and violation of the Constitution. That's what you saying indirectly, bro. And y'all not even gonna do nothing. See, the system ain't gonna never be what they say that they's gonna be. They all just want to just kind of move and groove to whatever benefits them where they are. That's it, bro. They was never meant to really go coast to coast with a true push or strive for freedom and justice about nothing and for nobody but themselves. Stop trusting they stupid asses. Fuck out of here. But yeah, peace. RPM stands for resistance political manipulation. Check my channel out. Share my shit. How the fuck half a million people ain't heard me talk my shit, bro? How that happen? That's whack as fuck. Doses.